What's up, everybody? I'm Trick the Goat with Golden Goat Gaming. This is my lovely assistant, Anastasia. Today we're going to show you just how easy it is to build your own PC. She's never built one, and I'm making her do it.
Before we can build our build, we need to know what parts we need. So head over to PCPartPicker.com. Here you can browse a selection of everything that's on the market now. You can figure out if your build is compatible, and you can see the estimated cost of the build. You also have the option to purchase your items on your list via PCPartPicker.com. It'll purchase through Amazon, Newegg, etc. But I like to browse those sites for deals myself, see if there's anything else that's compatible with my system that is cheaper.
When you get all your new stuff, unwrap it and take some pictures for social media. Then unbox everything, take a good look, make sure everything's not broken.
Once you have everything unboxed and checked, you'll start by installing the CPU into the motherboard, followed by the air cooler, the RAM, and plug any parts in that need plugged in on the motherboard before we put it into the system, because the box is a bit cramped. The RAM may take a good wiggle and push to get it snapped into place, but make sure it's secured tightly. Don't be afraid to consult your motherboard manual, because it'll tell you where every part goes, every plug goes, and how to install it. We decided to go with an M.2 SSD in this system because it's quick and it's small, but it's not quite as cheap as a SATA SSD, and also a little complicated to install an operating system on. So I highly recommend choosing an SSD that is SATA capable for your budget build. Now that we've got the motherboard mostly put together, let's open up our case and take all the panels off. This DIYPC case came with two pre-installed RGB fans, but we noticed that the top fan was bumping against one of the heat sinks on the motherboard, so we opted to move it to a new location. I like to install the PSU into the case first. This is a very light case, and the PSU adds some weight to it. It also allows you to see where your cables are going, so you can better manage your wires. Once you have the motherboard put together, it'll look a lot like this. Notice how large the Wraith cooler is. Be mindful of this when you're purchasing a case, and check the profile of all your cooling systems. Once you have the power supply installed, go ahead and place your motherboard. It'll come with the back panel cover, so make sure that's placed in the case before you set your motherboard, otherwise you'll have to take it back out again. Next we plug the RGB cable into the Wraith's cooler, then plug it into the 4-pin post that controls ARGBs. At this point of our build, we'll have a lot of wires laying around the case. For now, push them through the back panel of the case, and later we'll manage the wires a bit better. For all the information on where to plug these wires in, consult your motherboard manual. It'll tell you exactly where everything goes, and computer companies are pretty good about making these plugs dummy-proof. You'll notice a lot of flex in my motherboard right now. That's because we forgot to install anchor points behind the motherboard. I later took the motherboard off, installed these anchor points, so the motherboard sits much more securely in the case. Finally, we install the GPU into the system. Give it a good wiggle and push, just like the RAM, until it snaps into place. The first time you power on your system, you may encounter some problems. These are indicated by a beep error code. Simply Google the number of beeps and it'll tell you exactly what's wrong with your system. We forgot to plug in one of the plugs for the GPU. Before you close up your case, you want to install Windows and all the appropriate drivers. This is our final product. Our budget build cost us about $735, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Our ultimate goal was to have 144 frames per second for the lowest price we could get. So let's take it over to the benchmark tool and see what our system's capable of. We used 3D Mark's Skydiver program to benchmark test our system. In the most graphically intensive points, we only saw about 100 frames per second, but we averaged about 208 frames per second, and these are all on stock settings for the graphics card and CPU. Nothing has been overclocked yet. So there you have it. We achieved our goal of at least 144 frames per second on a low-end budget. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you would, please follow me on Twitter at GameGoldenGoat and hit that subscribe button for all the videos to come.